why'd you decide to do this lifestyle?
I think both of us were just kind of trying to see a bigger picture of what we could be doing with our lives and wanting to make an impact on a bigger scale, and we knew we weren't necessarily doing that with our 9-to-5 kind of jobs, so we really wanted to travel around, find where we wanted to be, maybe find where we might want to move to and live after traveling in the bus for a bit, and also kind of figure out where we could make a larger impact and make a change in a community that would have more of a value to us than just working for somebody else and working a 9-to-5.
Yeah. So we are kind of looking for financial freedom and like happiness in our own lives, and considered many careers, and I wasn't sure like what I would want to be doing, and so this was kind of for me almost like a gap period where I could read more books, understand more things about life, just learn in this time and understand what would make me happy and what I should be doing that would fulfill me. And it mostly comes down to what he was saying about the 9-to-5 thing, is that I've always felt like what I'm doing is below my capacity, that I could be doing something more effective and more life-changing for both myself and the people around me, but I just need to understand what that is. I guess a lot of that 9-to-5 job, what that made me feel was that there are a lot of systems out there that I don't believe in or that I think need to be better, and there's just so much that needs to change in the world. And what this is about for me is taking the time to recognize where can I insert myself into society where I have leverage to make a change that is sustainable, progressive, that will help people's lives, that they don't have to have the jobs that feel soul-sucking or that feel like they are just like, what is it, a cog in a machine, like they're just one piece that is turning this machine for these people at the top. It always comes back to me, for me, to like income inequality and the fact that a lot of people aren't being paid what they're worth, and there's a lot in society that is disillusioning for me, and a lot of living this life for me was finding myself in a way that it was like realizing I don't have to be a part of that, and I need to find a way out of that and help other people find a way out of that as well, and to feel like there's another option.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Really, I think that's what a lot of us are out here trying to figure out and do.
Yeah.
Implement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got
How
big
wonderful.
ambitions.
It's hard though, because you could say that, but I feel like that is a very kind of out there abstract idea, and it's hard to turn that into a concrete, okay, well,
like a tangible difference somewhere.
How do we do that? It's a great philosophical thought, but I think what we're trying to figure out is how to make that a concrete, tangible difference and change in people's lives.
Yeah.
How can we affect positive, concrete change? And I think that's going to be really difficult, because I think what a lot of us are told are that those people at the top have a lot of power, and they're the ones calling the shots. Whereas a lot of us who do these things and don't enjoy our lives can call our own shots to some degree, and how do we find our own ways to make our own fulfilling lives, rather than accepting that life is unfulfilling, because none of us should accept that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
It's hard to talk about. It's like, because it's hard to put all those words together, and it feels like something you could talk about for hours, right? Because it's just really out there. It's hard being young and seeing the world like this, because you just want it to be different, but then you also have that feeling of, I'm only one person. How do I change something?
Right.
But then you look at people like, most recently there was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and we watched a documentary on Netflix. It was called MLK FBI, and it was because the FBI had, what's it called?
They're declassified
Declassified.
after a certain amount of time.
Information about how they surveilled MLK during the Civil War movement, and it came out that they were like really invasive in his private life and like doing like really messed up things, and that the point of it just being that when you think, I'm just one person, what can I possibly do? Well, what did Martin Luther King Jr. do? He was one person. He died in his 30s, and look at the effect he had on this world. So it really comes down to what you believe and your volition, your beliefs, your like positivity, your optimism. If you don't think you can change things, you're right.
Yeah.
you can't.
Right.
You have to believe that you can
Yeah.
change things, or that things can be different in order to affect change. And so that's what we're trying to do, is keep our minds positive, optimistic, and looking for those things that draw our attention, our focus, our souls, our beliefs,
Yeah.
our passion, and feed into those to make the world what we want it to be. Because it's not there. It's not what we want it to be yet.
No.
That's well said.
But I feel so lucky that you all are the future. My God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're trying to make change. Got to make ripples, and they'll
Yeah.
turn into waves
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
line.
We were talking
Yeah.
to other people about this last night. They're called Willow on Wheels,
Mhm.
and they're both 19 years old, living in a converted shuttle bus.
Yeah.
And we're all like, wow, you guys, like, straight out of high school, this is what
Yeah.
you did. And then they're like, we don't think it's that amazing. It's just what we felt like we had to do. But at the same time, what reminds me of is the idea that they say that change happens over periods of time when the next generation decides that they're not going to accept what
Yeah.
generations before them have
Mhm.
accepted. And that's what they feel like to us. Like, and we feel like that to you.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
exactly how it all changes, because the next generation says, this is really messed up and it has to change.
Yeah.
And so Gen Z is really like that. They're radicals.
Yes.
We are to some extent, but not as much as them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It is interesting.
Thank you so much. You've literally brought me to tears.
Aw.
How can people find you and follow your journey?
We are on Instagram at
Yeah.
Travis and Kara _VT, because Travis and Kara, it's not taken, but we can't use it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening with that, but
Oh man.
We've got _VT, and we're one of the actual Vermont plate buses. That's
That's actually
truly
from
from
there.
Vermont. A lot of them just get registered there and have plates mailed to them. But
Yes.
we had to build through 2 Vermont winters, and we can attest it's rough being from Vermont with the schoolie.
yeah. And that's pretty much it. I think we have a website, travisandkara.com,
Yeah.
but Instagram is probably the best way to connect with us at this point.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for
Yeah.
taking a tour.